Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 146 based on novel. So let's start. Waze, you just entered Primal Chaos City for a few days and you actually dare to make a move on Labor. Isn't making a move in Primal Chaos City looking for death? Engulfed in the blurry chaos energy within the city, it was impossible to see the end of the city. On the balconies of the many buildings, the warriors of the universe all opened their eyes wide and stared at the distant two people. The one being chased was completely engulfed in lightning. He purposely let his lightning pierce through the entire skies. Roar! The tall and sturdy wild bull giant, with his bright red eyes, raged as he waved that terrifying huge axe. His opponent simultaneously fled, as he too waved his lightning pike. The space around them crumbled, chaos energy rippled throughout. In the tower of the owner's residence, Luo Feng and the group of individuals had all gone pale. They were simply like ants, while the two in the distance were like giant ancient gods. These two, Luo Feng held his breath, looking at the distant space crumble, his eyes opened wide. They are too strong. Undyings are actually that terrifying. Most of the Undyings he had met were mostly in the virtual universe. Even the ones he met in reality were controlling their auras. This was the first time he was witnessing an Undying actually raging, and this rage, with just a wave, was enough to crumble space within the universe. Just his strength alone can break space. Luo Feng looked up, the surge of lightning snakes in the air, the lightning pierced through 10 million li. With a flip of their hands they could easily destroy a planet. These were Undying. Luo Feng finally understood. Rumble. Within the entire Primal Chaos City resounded a rage-filled roar. Suddenly the land and skies completely went dark. Luo Feng was shocked to realize that the initial occasional splits and crumbles in space had sealed by itself, the flowing origin law energies, and even the chaos energies. These all completely went silent and stopped moving altogether. In the distance, the two absolute warriors went silent too. Rumble, above them, large amounts of chaos energy had formed a giant hand, almost like a mountain-size hand. This chaos energy hand violently smacked down, like the heavens smashing down altogether. The two Undyings had a look of shock and fear in their eyes. Waze and Labor, these two had pretty high reputations even within the 1008 universe countries as powerful Undyings. Nevertheless, they were immediately reduced to powder, almost like smashing tofu. The powerful warriors within Primal Chaos City all stared wide-eyed. Both of them became nothing but powder, even their souls turned to dust. In the distant space, the dust began to swiftly gather again, forming two human shapes. One was the bull giant and the other the skinny man engulfed in lightning, their faces both pale. The skinny man shouted out, "City leader, it's him who wants to kill me, it's Waze who wants to kill me, I'm innocent. I only hate, I wasn't able to kill you." The bull man's eyes were red, staring hard at the skinny man, roaring softly. "Stupid." The skinny man laughed coldly and glanced at him. "Ah?" The bull man roared with rage. It couldn't be helped. Just a thought from the city leader, and 100,000 li of chaos energy formed a hand, causing these two Undyings to barely survive through it, with no ability to fight back at all. That level of attack control, it was terrifying. The third law enforcement team will kick both Waze and Labor out of the primal universe. Waze will be locked in the 9th Starfield jail, Labio in the 2nd Starfield jail. A low voice, infused with traces of metal, or something similar, resounded throughout the entire primal universe. "Yes." A resounding reply echoed through the airs of the city. 5 blood-colored lights flew over. Against the law enforcement team, the two Undyings that had already suffered a heavy blow from before had no resistance at all and not even a trace of resentment. They obediently followed the team, and left in an entirely blood-red universe ship. Within that blood-red universe ship, Waze, you are considered lucky. This time you didn't kill anyone. If you had killed someone, you'd be dead without a doubt. You wouldn't be simply locked up in the 9th Starfield jail. Dressed in a blood-red armor, carrying a peculiar round blade, the law enforcement Undying shook his head. The bull man raged softly, his expression struggling as he stared at the distant skinny man. "I only hate that I didn't kill Labor. So what if you hide within Primal Chaos City? I will still come to kill you." "Stupid, even after you came in you were unable to kill me. This time I'm entering the 2nd jail while you the 9th Starfield jail, ha ha. I'll watch how you die." Labor laughed maniacally. "Die? How can I die before I kill you?" The bull giant seemed to want to swallow his opponent. You've been injured this badly, you won't be able to recover within the next 100 years, and you can still rave on so crazily. Silence. The law enforcements, 5 undyings roared simultaneously. The bull giant and the skinny man finally stopped bickering with each other. Everything happened in an instant and the group of youths in the tower were all stunned. Most of the primal chaos city's tens of thousands of warriors too were calm. Only very few who were close or had spoken to Labor and Ways began discussing, many continued their training. After all, the time within primal chaos city was simply too valuable. For undyings to enter, just one slot was incredibly shocking. They even became dust, but they still survived. I dare to guarantee, both their souls were dead beyond dead. What do you know? Those 2 undyings have already reached the immortal body level. Their every cell has been infused with their mental memories, even if their souls are destroyed and reduced to ashes, as long as one cell remains, they can swiftly absorb energy and their body bits and regain their form. Immortal body. I heard that even amongst the undying, very few actually make it to this level. Those 2 undyings don't even mean anything. That city leader that made that move, now that was a truly terrifying being. He didn't even show himself, with just a thought, the entire universe space stopped its movement, even the space splits and origin lore engravings all stopped. The group of geniuses were discussing rampantly. Luo Feng and the group were both shocked and excited over what had happened, especially that move by the city leader. It was simply overwhelming. Their bloods rushed with adrenaline. This was because they could all see that the city leader didn't even reveal himself, and he actually controlled the entire space within the city. Just how big of a deal was this? All of the universe laws, all of primal chaos city stopping its movement. Within an instant all beings were forced to freeze. Just what level was this? Simply unbelievable. To be primal chaos city's leader, his position must be much higher than all the universe country leaders. Even in the entire universe, he must be an absolute being. With just a thought he can control the entire universe space and freeze its movement. Luo Feng was completely stunned, the leader of primal chaos city. He felt like he was the master of the universe. Right, master. Damn, I've followed your teacher for over 60 million years. I've never seen such a powerful and brutal being. In his mind Barbata's high voice resounded, that's sick, I've seen a universe country leader make a move. I thought that was terrifying, as within an instant he controlled the space and destroyed or and injured countless within a starfield. However, it still pales in comparison to that primal chaos city leader's attack. This leader must definitely be a pinnacle being. I even feel like this primal universe is his. Luo Feng nodded. Right? There was indeed that feeling of the city being the leaders, and the leader was the universe itself. Primal universe, there's just this one primal chaos city. It's a lot more ancient than many universe countries. The leader of this city is the true pinnacle being of the vast universe. Luo Feng completely held his breath. He had the confidence of becoming an undying, even the power to head towards becoming a universe country leader. No matter what happened, at least he was able to see and touch this dream of his. A universe country leader, opening a new universe country, not falling for 1 trillion years. That was already a heavenly goal. In the history of the entire humanity in the universe, it took trillions of years for a universe country leader to appear. Hence, one could only imagine its difficulty. As for the even higher primal chaos city leader, Luo Feng felt like he did when he was young looking into the skies. He was mortal, that leader was like the gods himself. For someone that small to look up, it made him wonder, is that a place a normal person can actually reach? Universe country leader, dominating for 1 trillion years, they were all unbelievable existences, and even during your teacher's lifespan, there was no news of any new universe country leaders being produced at all. Even stronger than a universe country leader. My God. Barbata had completely descended into madness. The ancient primal chaos city, Luo Feng and the group of youths stood in the tower, watching the splits in spaces within the skies. Those splits had threads of origin laws interweaving between each other. Watching them gave off a feeling of the origin laws and their peculiar ripples mixing with each other. Luo Feng and the group were immersed within. They were all geniuses that had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws, hence it was naturally very easy to get immersed within. If it was some normal fighter or spirit reader that hadn't stepped through the entrance, they'd only be stunned while watching this scene in front of them. They had been stimulated. Of the 100, they were all proud geniuses, all absolute geniuses within their universe countries. However, no matter how absolute a genius they were, there was a group every 5,000 years. Just how many were there in a trillion years? However, since the primal universe had humans from a long time ago, with countless vast and long time flows, how long did it take for a primal chaos city leader-like person to appear? They were all stimulated. The group of proud geniuses were all holding their breaths within. Even if they couldn't become a primal chaos city leader, they would still become universe country leaders. However, their logical side was telling them, even for the most genius of the group, Bolin, his chances of becoming a universe country leader was probably at most 1 over 10 million, much less the rest of them. Wei Te, Luo Feng, you 12 follow me, enter the 9 universe primal chaos tablet room. The black-robed receiver came to castle and called 12 names. Standing there with his eyes closed and immersed in his training, Luo Feng had to be awoken by his living AI Barbata before he startled. After which, he followed the other 11 young geniuses who chose the 9 universe tablet, all being led by the black-robed receiver into the training room. The city leader's residence was extremely spacious. There were many constructs within, taking up a circular area of 1,000 li. The black-robed receiver took Luo Feng and the group of 12 through a pathway that was about 60 m wide and 120 m tall. The sides of that pathway had huge bronze doors. Every one of them were 160 m long and 120 m tall, and each of them had ancient words on them. Muzu, huge axe, dragon age. Before each door stood a kind-looking old man. The peculiar thing was, the old man standing before each door all looked exactly similar. There are a total of 52 doors here, each of them leading to one of the 52 primal chaos tablet rooms. The black-robed receiver smiled. Ahead is the 9 universe tablet training room entrance. Oh, we've arrived. Luo Feng looked at the huge bronze door. The bronze door that had been here for over 100 million years had 2 universe language words on it. 9 doors, at 120 tall, it made one able to help but look up to see it in its entirety. Beside the door stood an old man with a vertical eye on his forehead, similar in appearance to all the other old men. Lord Kandeli. The black-robed receiver bowed. The 3-eyed old man smiled and looked at Luo Feng and the group. A new group of punks from the virtual universe company. Yes. The black-robed receiver was incomparably respectful, following which he turned and looked at the group. This is Lord Kandeli, the guardian of the primal chaos tablet training rooms. Before each of the 52 tablet doors, they are all clones that Lord Kandeli has conjured. He has been guarding the 52 doors for over a million eras. He's the most respected warrior in primal chaos city. The group of youths were shocked as they looked at this ordinary kind-looking 3-eyed old man. They were surprised to find out that it was actually one person guarding all 52 doors. As one of the 3 treasures of primal chaos city, the importance of these 52 tablets were inconceivable. Allowing one person to conjure 52 clones to watch over them, just how strong was this person? And he had been guarding them for over a million eras. As for the master of the Yunmo planet Huyang Bo, he had only been living for over 6,000 eras. Lord Kandli. Luo Feng and the group bowed respectfully. He, they are really young, looking at you is akin to looking to the future hope of humanity. Kandeli smiled and nodded. Wait a moment, the group inside are coming out momentarily. Yes. Luo Feng and the group obediently complied. Incredible. Primal Chaos City is indeed the sacred training land of humanity. The strong are like clouds, powerful beyond reason. In an instant we met a guardian that has been watching over the rooms for over a million eras, an old monster. Barbata shouted shocked, your teacher was stronger than you and he had lived longer too. However, the amount of strong warriors he's met pales in comparison to you. The difference in the circles you travel in really depicts the people you meet. The master of the Yunmo planet was after all a lone warrior. Him meeting even one universe country leader was a rare occurrence. Even though Luo Feng was weak, however, he had entered the core of the virtual universe company. Hence, getting the opportunity to interact with the pinnacle of the human race and other unbelievable beings was not a surprise at all. Lord Kandeli, Lord Kandeli. A shout resounded. With a gold band on his head and boots on his feet, an ape youth emitting a strong aura suddenly appeared at the entrance of the bronze door. He immediately bowed respectfully at Lord Kandeli, and looking at Luo Feng's group, he smiled from his eyes. Lord Kandeli, looks like my timing was just right. I'll be able to enter with them to participate. If I was a bit slower, I'd have to wait another 7 days. Ah, you've broken through. Kandeli smiled as he looked at the ape youth. Right, I've successfully passed the 6th level, thereby getting another 7 days to view and study the tablet. The ape youth said. Kandeli closed his eyes for a couple of seconds and opened after, nodding, you've indeed received another 7 days to study the tablet. Addition. In the group beside, Luo Feng thought, when you first enter Primal Chaos City, one can receive 7 days to study the tablet. And from the looks of it, it seems like fulfilling a condition, or passing some test, one can get another chance. How does one actually receive another chance to study the tablet? Luo Feng and the group still didn't know. However, they believed they would learn about it soon. After all, they were going to stay in Primal Chaos City for 30 years. They quietly waited. After about 5 to 6 minutes, rumble, the entire bronze door opened gradually. The chaos energy leaked out from within, making it impossible to see clearly within. Come out. Kandeli looked inside and roared softly. His voice resounded continuously within the training room. Very quickly, human silhouettes began to emerge from the chaos energy flow, and many seemed to be covering their ears with their hands. There was one tall and sturdy youth with 6 eyes on his forehead. He seemed reluctant as he turned back to take one last look, however he still left in the end. You 13, you can enter now. Kandeli looked at the group before them. After 7 days, the door will open and you will exit immediately, understood? Understood. The group nodded. Okay. Kandeli nodded, go in. The group immediately entered one after another, filled with anticipation and nervousness. The training room was extremely huge, and the chaos energy revolved within. Luo Feng carefully surveyed the area, looking at the chaos energy revolve about a huge stone tablet. That's the 9 universe tablet. Luo Feng felt both anticipation, as well as nervousness. The other 11 youths too were similar, only that ape youth was very familiar with the insides of the training room as he began his study immediately. Drawing close to the primal chaos tablet, only then could one see it clearly. This was a 100-meter tall, 100-meter wide primal chaos tablet. On it were 9 pictures, and at the sides of the tablet were universe language words, 9 universe. Every picture was similar to the pictures on the walls they had seen before. However, the feeling it gave off was obviously different. From the earlier viewing of the pictures of the 9 universe before, they already knew how it looked. The first picture was that of a drizzle of rain. However, on careful examination, one would realize there were only 9 drops of rain. The second picture was that of continuous rain. On careful examination, there was a total of 36 rain drops. The third picture was that of a downpour. Large amounts of rain gathered together, there were a total of 108 rain drops. The fourth was that of a star diagram. One planet had 4 moons surrounding it. The fifth was that of a galaxy, with 12 planets within, everyone with different amounts of moons. The sixth was Galaxia, with countless planets forming a vast Galaxia. Even when Luo Feng was viewing the picture before, he had asked Barbata to count them, but he too was unable to determine the number of planets, as there were many areas that were distant and faint. They seemed to be filled with planets, yet it was impossible to count the exact number. The seventh picture seemed like a peculiar beast. The eighth was also similarly to the peculiar beast. The ninth picture was one with countless peculiar beasts, it was impossible to count them. If one said that with these set of 1 to 6 pictures, Luo Feng could still faintly understand a little and feel the faint origin law paths within the 9 universe tablet, then the final set of pictures 7 to 9, they were extremely abstract. Luo Feng simply felt they were some weird beasts. How could they possibly hold anything with regards to the origin laws? They were simply too abstract. However, the 52 primal chaos tablets were still the treasures of the humanity of the universe. By comprehending any one of the tablets, becoming a universe country leader would be simple. As such, countless absolute warriors had regarded the set of pictures 7 to 9 held unbelievable profound mysteries within. It's simply Luo Feng's power was too weak. Hence, he couldn't even feel a hint of its meaning. Luo Feng had seen the entire 9 universe tablet in the picture before, however now when faced with the actual thing. Especially when seeing the first drizzle picture, his consciousness immediately got immersed within. Those 9 raindrops began to morph into limitless images within his mind. One had to know that Luo Feng had 3 bodies, and as all 3 bodies had consciousness conduits, like the one of an earth human was within the consciousness of the soul. The golden horned beast's conduit was the internal core within. The Mosha clans was within the life crystal. And as the 3 were one, their consciousness was linked. Hence whatever Luo Feng saw, naturally the other two would see within his internal space. Roar, within the golden horned beast's eyes, the 9 raindrops became extremely sharp claws, a powerful waving tail, even like golden horns shooting out. The Mosha clan clone, who was in the form of a black-clothed Luo Feng, wielding a shield and a blade, the internal life core slightly revolved, melding perfectly with the space origin laws. He felt that the 9 drops formed blade work, which was infused with space laws. As the Mosha clan was favored by space itself, the Mosha clan automatically began to unleash its blade work. And the human being standing right before the 9 universe tablet, looking at the 9 drops. He could faintly see 9 different concepts, almost as though it became 9 golden blades that continuously formed and rippled over and over like strong waves. They were all good at different things, hence the things they saw were different. Yet all these different paths led to one destination. To be able to be called one of the treasures of Primal Chaos City, a treasure of the entire humanity, the 9 universe tablet was indeed a mysterious and incredibly profound. The energy and origin laws emanating from it would automatically suck the viewer into subconsciously study it. As it was incredibly valuable, one would get the chance to study it when one first enters Primal Chaos City. However, one would have to rely on his own comprehension after to perceive the profoundness of these tablets. Resources were limited. A true strong warrior, only he would receive 1, 2, maybe even 3 more times, to study them again. Every time lasting 7 days. The 13 people within the training room were completely immersed, unable to even comprehend the amount of time that passed. Rumble, the huge bronze door rumbled open, the 13 still immersed within weren't even awoken from that. Come out. A voice resounded within, immediately piercing into all their minds. Come out. Come out. Come out. Come out. The voice repeatedly resounded within their minds, getting louder as it continued, causing all of them to be startled and awoken. That continuous roar within his mind caused Luo Feng to grab his head unconsciously. The 13 quickly rushed outside, during the time they passed through the entrance. Only then did the repeated roars vanish, and they regained comfort. Has it ended? When Luo Feng walked through the entrance, he turned back reluctantly to give it one last look. However, with the chaos energy revolving within, one couldn't see the tablet clearly. Only now did Luo Feng understand why the previous group was reluctant as they left. In front of the training room, the ape youth bowed respectfully at the Guardian Kandeli and later became a beam of light and left. You 12 wait for a moment. The Guardian Kandeli smiled. Luo Feng looked curiously at the old man. The other geniuses were also curious as Kandeli smiled. This is the first time for you all entering the training room. Let me give you some advice. First go look for the place where you will stay for the next 30 years. Then enter the virtual universe and request to enter the heavenly bridge. Enter the heavenly bridge. Luo Feng and the rest were curious. Once you enter the virtual universe network and enter the heavenly bridge, you'll understand. Kandeli smiled indifferently. You can leave now. The Guardian didn't wish to speak anymore. Luo Feng and his group could only leave. Leaving the residence, Luo Feng separated from the 12 and began looking for his quarters. The amount of area Primal Chaos City had was vast. Except for several special constructs, the rest of the buildings were identical, and most of the doors were white, meaning there wasn't anybody living in there. Where should I choose to live for the next 30 years? Luo Feng pondered. I'll choose the center of the city, the quieter buildings. The city leader's residence was the center of the entire city. Surrounding this residence were many buildings, which were mostly empty. Luo Feng very quickly found a more deserted living quarters. Standing before the door, he placed his hand on it. The door made several noises and simultaneously started to turn gray, from white to gray, until it finally stopped. Welcome, master. An electronic voice resounded. Luo Feng entered the living quarters. The first level was an extremely huge living room. Within it the facilities were incredibly luxurious and advanced. The electronic voice continued. I am a service AI. During your time of stay, I will service you. Whatever you need, for example food, drinks etc., please feel free to order. Luo Feng followed the stairs upwards and became a beam of light, immediately reaching the balcony on the 3rd floor. On that balcony, there were several casual markings left behind by warriors that had trained there before. However, they were random and unruly, even though he could faintly feel some of their special energies. However, after seeing one of the 52 Primal Chaos tablet, he didn't have much interest in such random messy scribbles. His time in the Primal Universe was extremely valuable. He couldn't waste any of it on such low-efficiency methods. From today on, I'll truly begin my training days within Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng surveyed his surroundings. In the distance, he could see warriors training hard on their balconies. Many of them had almost similar appearances. Their hairs had grown extra long, almost as though they hadn't moved in many years. I'll first enter the Virtual Universe network. Virtual Universe, Yuseong Mountain, Absolute Beginning Region, Villa 1136. Luo Feng appeared within his villa, Your Majesty. A group of staff and waiters bowed. Luo Feng nodded and asked simultaneously, request to enter Heavenly Bridge, understood. On his shoulder, the fist-sized virtual helper, Barbata, immediately connected to the Virtual Universe main system and requested. Very quickly, a sound rang in Luo Feng's mind. Identity confirmed, Luo Feng, you've gained eternal access to enter the Heavenly Bridge. We hope you work hard and reach the end of the Heavenly Bridge. Beginning transfer. Luo Feng immediately vanished from the villa. Virtual Universe, within a special space. This was an endless ocean, the waves flowed one after another. And above the ocean there was one single beautiful island. Beside it were 52 ports, and every port had an endless bridge extending out of it, all the way till the end of the horizon, almost as though it was connecting into the distant horizon. These 52 bridges completely covered the entire air above the ocean. Above the ocean, there was even a slight mist, making one unable to see clearly above the ocean. With the mist engulfing everything, it made the bridges look mystical and dreamy. Luo Feng suddenly appeared in a plaza in the center of the island. Luo Feng, you've come too. There were already 9 other youths there. Luo Feng looked. These 9 were those that had studied the 9 Universe tablet together with him. Do you all know just what this place is? Luo Feng asked curiously. You can ask the Lord Watchman. The 9 pointed not too far away. There stood in the plaza a man dressed in a black star robe. He had 4 ears, no nose, his entire being seemed friendly as he smiled and walked over. How are you, Luo Feng? I am the Heavenly Bridge's Watchman Bevan, however I prefer others to call me Watchman. How do you do, Lord Watchman? Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Let me introduce you. The Watchman Bevan nodded. This Heavenly Bridge is built specifically for the 52 Primal Chaos Tablets. Over the trillions of years, our universe humanity has had many people studying the 52 Primal Chaos Tablets. Hence within Primal Chaos City, they naturally formed 52 sects. The Watchman Bevan exclaimed, for example, you all studied the 9 Universe Tablet, naturally you will belong to the 9 Universe sect and will be one of their members. However, while you've all studied the same tablet, your comprehension levels will be different, and only the strong ones will receive another chance to study the tablet from Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Another chance to study. After just one study of the 9 Universe Tablet, he had already understood his direction and training for quite a while. This level of improvement and growth was very addictive. If he could study the tablet once again, how perfect would that be? How does one prove his strength? That doesn't rely on words. The Watchman Bevan smiled. Hence we've built this Heavenly Bridge within the Virtual Universe. By passing each level and reaching further, would mean one's strength is growing. On this island there are 52 bridges, each for the 52 tablets. You studied the 9 Universe Tablet, hence you will venture into the 9 Universe Heavenly Bridge. This 9 Universe Bridge is incredibly long, each level gets harder. There are a total of 27 levels. If one can pass the first level, he'd receive another chance to study the tablet. Every time one passes a level, he'd receive another chance. The Watchman Bevan smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng realized. Right. The ape youth they had met at the entrance of the training room before, he had said, I've successfully passed the 6th level. I get another 7 days to study. Obviously one would get another chance after passing one level, however, the Heavenly Bridge is extremely hard to pass. The Watchman Bevan exclaimed, for young people such as yourselves, normally you wouldn't even be able to pass the first level. Luo Feng was shocked. The 9 Universe Heavenly Bridge has a total of 27 levels. The further you make, it represents your understanding of the 9 Universe Tablet is getting deeper and stronger. If you fully comprehend the entire tablet, you'd be able to make it past all 27 levels, however, that's simply too difficult. Even the Undyings normally only make it to level 10. The Watchman Bevan sighed. If you can make it to the 18th level, you'd be an Undying that's almost invincible. Making it to level 21, one can become a universe country leader. What? Luo Feng was shocked. Making it to level 21, one can become a universe country leader. Becoming a universe country leader was incredibly difficult. Then one could only imagine how hard it was to make it to level 21. Even becoming Undying was incredibly difficult, hence making it to level 10 of the tower was already impressive. As for the highest level 27, only those that fully comprehended the entire 9 Universe Primal Chaos Tablet could accomplish it. That was too far away. Work hard. The Watchman Bevan smiled. This is the path to the pinnacle. There have been many who've walked down the 52 paths in humanity. The moment you pass the 18th level, you'd also receive the right to become an eternal member of Primal Chaos City. You don't need any slots in the name lists, or anything else. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. eternal member of Primal Chaos City. However, passing 18 levels was simply too difficult. Those that entered before have failed. The watchman Bevan looked at Luo Feng and the group. Next one. Go past the heavenly bridge. I'll go. The 9 that arrived there, one after another they became beams of lights that flew towards the 9 universe heavenly bridge. After 2 minutes, the watchman said, another failure, next one, another failure, next, all have failed, there's only you Luo Feng left. At this time, the number of new people trying to pass the bridge was a total of 12, 2 of which had tried before Luo Feng arrived, and the 11 before him had all failed, leaving only Luo Feng left. This made him feel extreme pressure. Obviously passing the bridge is extremely hard. These were all geniuses, and there were 3 from the absolute beginning region, yet none of them had even passed the first level. Luo Feng, work hard. The watchman Bevan smiled at him. From this batch, including the close to 900 who've tried before, up to 90% have tried passing the bridge. So many, except for Bolan, no one else has passed the first level. What? Luo Feng was shocked. There were many that had entered the training rooms earlier. Luo Feng had to spend his first day in the tower, hence he and this batch of youth geniuses could only now go through the trials. This was completely normal. Bolan is very strong. He continuously passed both the first and second levels, receiving 2 extra chances to study. The watchman Bevan exclaimed. As for the rest, even the other primal region member Long Yun couldn't even pass the first level, none of them did. Stress. Luo Feng felt tremendous pressure. From his batch of geniuses, Bolan, Long Yun, Jiolai Shi, they had all tried passing the bridge, based on the time they entered the training room. During the time Luo Feng entered his, those that had chosen the huge axe tablet, Rong Jun and the Manka youth Wuka had yet to enter theirs. Hence, the only remaining geniuses from the absolute beginning that had yet to go through the bridge were Luo Feng, Rong Jun and Wuka. Go on. The watchman Bevan looked with anticipation at Luo Feng. Luo Feng became a beam of light, and immediately headed towards the extremely long heavenly bridge. From afar he could see that the bridge he headed to had the stone tablet with the words 9 universe on it. The heavenly bridge extended way beyond the horizon, with a white mist engulfing it, and the ocean below choppy with waves. The moment Luo Feng entered the 9 universe bridge, within his mind Barbata's voice resounded. Luo Feng, we just received a mail. It's from the virtual universe company. What does it say? Luo Feng asked. It's the points reward system. Barbata said, points. Luo Feng stood on the bridge, excited within. There were many incredibly valuable items within the virtual universe company, like the level 5 spirit weapons and swords were only worth about 10 points, even the life fruits one could exchange for. This level of wealthy exchange was enough to make others speechless. However, one had to have sufficient points to exchange for them. Even with a crazy amount of wealth, within the virtual universe company, they only recognized the point system exchange. There are many ways to gain more points. Right now in Primal Chaos City, you have one way to gain more points, that's to pass the heavenly bridge. Barbata said, there's a total of 27 levels in the 9 universe bridge. Passing the first level, you'll get 100 points, passing the second, you'll get 200, passing the third, you'll get 400 points. They compound as you go further, 800, 1600, 3200, Luo Feng calculated quickly. If one were to pass over 10 levels, 20 levels, the points would be absurd. However, simply passing the 21st level, one would be able to become a universe country leader. This showed how hard obtaining the points truly was. Luo Feng, the mail even says that since you are a new person to Primal Chaos City, to the youth geniuses, the virtual universe company has a special reward system. As long as one passes the levels in their first 30 years of their initial stay, they will get tenfold of their rewards, meaning in these 30 years, if you pass the first level, your reward is 1000 points, the second level being 2,000, and so on and so forth. This 10 times reward is only for first-timers and new people to Primal Chaos City. In the future when you re-enter the city, there will be no such good thing. Luo Feng nodded. Originally the first couple of levels were 100 points and 200, right now they were 1000 and 2000 instead. This was a special reward for the youths, however as they were youths, many had simply just begun comprehension of the origin laws. As the watchman Bevan had said earlier, of the 1000 geniuses that entered in this batch, close to 900 had tried and other than Bolan, no one had even passed the first level. Wishing to get points. Difficult, I'll give it a shot. Luo Feng looked at the heavenly bridge that extended forever. He finally squinted his eyes and became a beam of light flying forward. Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng and that 12 were considered the later ones to go through the test. Others like Bolan and Jiolai Shi, Ari Chen etc., many had already tested earlier on, and they swiftly understood more about Primal Chaos City already. If one wants to become an eternal member of Primal Chaos City, there should be several methods. However, the most impressive would be passing the 18th level on the heavenly bridge. Anyone who passes the 18th level on the bridge, That would be an invincible being even amongst the undying, and they'd earn the right to open their own subsect within Primal Chaos City. Jiang Mo exclaimed, 52 sects, there are indeed many subsects. Qian Shui nodded, to be able to open a subsect is very impressive. Jiang Mo said, within their own sect, they have extremely high achievements. However, to be able to enter these subsects to listen to the strong warriors give lessons, one still has to at least pass the 3rd level. These were the sacred training grounds of the entire humanity. There were 52 great sects, and within each there were many strong warriors with their subsects. And to be able to gain the recognition of the city leader, to have the right to create one's own subsect and be a leader, one has to at least pass the 18th level. These subsect leaders purely gave lessons. The disciples would go listen. One had to pass the 3rd level to gain the right to go listen to the classes. If one couldn't even pass the 3rd level, he didn't have the right to go listen at all. 52 Primal Chaos tablets, with different levels of profoundness. Jiang Mo exclaimed, of the 52 bridges, some only have 21 levels, some have 24, and some have 27, while the highest being 32. These 52 Primal Chaos tablets, of which only the huge axe tablet Heavenly Bridge has 32 levels. The levels of the bridge was a definite reflection of the profoundness of the Primal Chaos tablet. That was because for all the bridges, passing level 21 would mean that person could become a universe country leader. Being more profound doesn't mean it's better. Qian Shui shook her head. To produce a universe country leader is extremely difficult. Even though these 52 tablets have different levels of profoundness, however, out of trillions of geniuses, hardly anyone ever reaches level 21. If one can't even pass level 21, then the huge axe tablet's later levels, what point is there, right? Jiang Mo nodded. Within the 52 Primal Chaos tablets, the 9 Universe tablet was considered one of the more profound tablets, ranking in the top 5. Of course, before becoming a universe country leader, discussing which tablet was more profound had no meaning at all. Just like the 9 universes' 9 pictures, especially the last 3 pictures, Luo Feng couldn't feel anything from them whatsoever. They were simply absurd, he couldn't even feel a trace of their origin laws. Primal Chaos City, within a certain 9-level pagoda. Primal Chaos City was made up of most identical buildings and training quarters, however several special constructs represented special areas and status. On the 7th level of the 9-level pagoda, a lady dressed in a black cotton dress was sitting crossed-legged. The bottom half of her body was a huge snake tail, the snake tail coiled around and allowed her to sit crossed-legged. Her expression was unclear and hard to discern, only her eyes were bright and resplendent, almost like the stars, like an entire galaxy was within, extremely enticing. You've come. A hoarse voice resounded from the snake-tailed lady, ha ha. A tall and sturdy man, dressed in golden armor, with golden fur on his face, a strong-looking ape man appeared within the pagoda, laughing loudly. Wu Ni, you are also another sub-sect leader within the 9 Universe sect. No matter what, you should open your doors and teach some lessons, give some pointers to the later generations. The snake-tailed lady said hoarsely, True Yang Emperor, right now within the 9 Universe sect, amongst the many sub-sect leaders, you are the strongest. With you teaching the classes, I have no need to do it at all, ha ha. The strong ape man laughed loudly. We've both trained for 1 trillion years, burying our heads, and simply training is already useless. Occasional inspiration may have some effect. From what I see, don't keep locking yourself within this 9 Universe pagoda. When we first built the 9 Universe tower, we said we were going to comprehend all 9 pictures. That tall and mighty Black Mist Emperor, how has she become so low profile? Amongst the Undying, they had different statuses. Normal Undyings could become generals and lead an army. The strong, however, are named emperors, like True Yang Emperor or Black Mist Emperor. They were considered absolute beings amongst the Undying, opening their own subsects, and teaching the later generations. 9 Universe Pagoda, its reputation within the city itself was huge, because back then when the Black Mist Emperor built the 9 Universe Tower, she said she would enter whichever level with regards to which picture she was studying. Obviously right now she had begun studying the 9 Universe Tablet's 7th picture, hence she stayed within the 7th level of the pagoda. Let's go, from my virtual universe company's newest batch of geniuses. There are 12 that chose the 9 Universe Tablet. Let's see if there are any good seedlings. No matter what, I am still the virtual universe company's True Yang Emperor. The ape man laughed. You are from the virtual universe company. I'm from the huge axe dojo. Why should I go with you? The snake-tailed lady muttered. You really aren't giving me any face. The ape man stared. Even though these two had different levels of power, their relationship went deep. Both of them had opened their own subsect in Primal Chaos City. They both studied the 9 Universe Tablet together back then, discussing their own comprehension of the origin laws, and this had been going on for 18 eras, while becoming one of the legends within Primal Chaos City. Their many discussions had led to the two breaking through the levels time and again. Let's go. The snake-tailed lady shot a glance at the ape man. Ha ha. The ape man laughed. Virtual universe, heavenly bridge. Two people appeared in mid-air above the island, the ape man and the snake-tailed lady. The willpower and energy pressure that naturally seeped out from the both of them alone made others feel as though they were facing an entire endless space before them. True Yang Emperor, Black Mist Emperor. The watchman Bevan was extremely respectful. How are the results of the test in the 9 universe sect? The ape man looked at the watchman Bevan replied respectfully, there's a total of 12 for the 9 universe tablet this time, of which 11 have already ended their trial. Right now the last one is going on, and is probably the one with the most hope of these 12, is called Luo Feng, the one with the most hope. The ape man's golden fur ruffled a little. The 11 before have all failed, none have been able to pass the first level. The watchman Bevan said, failure is not the matter. The ape man smiled, some are defeated immediately, some struggle for a while before losing, and some almost won. This also represents their differences in strength. Send me the footage of the previous 11, in a while, also send me the footage of Luo Feng's battle, yes. The watchman Bevan immediately picked out the 11 videos. As the watchman, Bevan usually had many matters to attend to, things like the footage of the people attempting the heavenly bridge and others. 11 scenes appeared before the ape man True Yang Emperor. He watched with interest as the battles simultaneously played. True Yang Emperor rubbed his chin and stroked his golden beard, his mouth twitching. At the time, Luo Feng had reached the end of the first level of the 9 universe bridge. Choose your opponent, you can choose a fighter, spirit reader controller, spirit reader hypnotist, pick anyone. If you win against your opponent, you'll pass the first level. Ahead of Luo Feng was a huge cloud mist, from it the voice boomed. According to the information Luo Feng had acquired, he had to defeat his opponent before the mist would dissipate, and he would be able to enter the second level. I choose, controller. Luo Feng exclaimed. From the mist flew out a black liquid. This black liquid began to condense and gather in mid-air, forming a mysterious human silhouette with a black mask. This mysterious man stood on a dark cloud shuttle, carrying a dark golden long rod, the Nanshan armament. Behind the black mask his cold eyes stared at Luo Feng, and he shouted, let the battle begin. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.